What's up, people? Welcome back to See These CDs, where in each one of these videos I take a closer look at a select CD from my own personal collection. If you haven't already figured it out, today we're going to be talking about Travis Scott's 2015 CD Rodeo, which more specifically was released September 4th, 2015. Clocks in at a little bit over an hour at 65 minutes and 26 seconds. And as far as like the album, like the artwork, or the cover art, it was mainly, accredited to a photographer by the name of Kevin Amato, which has worked with Travis Scott, on other projects as well. He's worked with him on Days Before Rodeo. I don't know if he was like just the photographer for that, or if he assisted with some of the Photoshop work as well. I don't know if you guys have an idea of what Days Before Rodeo looks like, but it's a picture of Travis Scott's back, kind of slanted, and almost like a grainier image, with the whole like red text. I want to say there's some blue in there as well, not in the text typography, but more so in like the filter that's probably put over the image of Scott. So yeah, I mean, it works pretty dope there. I really, I kind of would say, I like Days Before Rodeo a little bit better than Rodeo, not in terms of like the body of work or the music. They're both amazing, bodies of work in terms of like music, but I would say more so in reference to just like the cover artwork. I just thought Days Before Rodeo was a little bit more eye-catching or appealing. It popped more to me. But yeah, Kevin Amato, he has a decent resume. He's worked, like I already said, on Days Before Rodeo, but he's also worked with, the clothing brand Hood by Air, which is, it was more popular a few years ago. Probably more so around when he did the work with Travis Scott, or was actually working with Travis Scott. But I'm pretty sure it's still, reasonably popping clothing brand. He's also worked with Open Ceremony, which, they're like a high-end fashion, I don't know if it would be like a boutique or a shop. But yeah, he's worked with, these other, entities as well. In an article I was reading about Kevin Amato, more specifically to do with this cover art, it was so ridiculous because it made it sound like this quote that they took in the article was Kevin Amato explaining like the meaning behind the cover art, which if you read the article, he really didn't. He talked about it. He talked about how like the doll was kept under wraps. As you can see, the front cover is apparently like a Ken doll version, or almost like a Ken doll life-size version of Travis Scott. A very detailed doll. We'll see more of that once we get into the booklet and things like that. But yeah, he said it was kept under wraps for a long time. And he said that Scott wanted it to be the specific size that it was, so it could fit on trucks and Barbie cars and stuff like that. Like if they want to put it, if you want to sit next to Barbie in like a Barbie's Corvette or whatever and stuff like that. So I guess it was really just to put Scott in various images, or just various settings rather. Like he also talked about how each setting was a different part of Rodeo or Houston, like a different vibe from Houston. I have to say, granted, I've never been to a rodeo in Houston, so maybe I shouldn't really be speaking, but I don't really get that from all this. I think it's fitting of the work, what I'm hearing, because the cover it does seem like a little darker, or at least the whole overall theme and aesthetic of the CD falls. I feel like it falls in line with what we know about Scott, or what we're accustomed to from Travis Scott. But I definitely think all the images it fits the overall body of work. I don't think it takes away from it or anything like that. But does it really convey to me the whole idea of rodeo and Houston? Not so much, but like I said, I've never even been to Houston, so maybe what do I know? But yeah, let's get a closer look. So yeah, on the front cover, which I don't know, it could be argued it's not the front cover. I don't know if this would be considered the front cover, but either or, we have. I'm only saying it's the front cover because it has a parental advisory sticker right there, and I feel like when I first purchased it, all the CDs were lined up like this, to show the doll of Scott. But we have the doll of Scott sitting on top of what seems to be like a toy monster truck. Like I said, parental advisory sticker, in that lower right-hand corner, and it's just a white backdrop. Scott is wearing black clothing for the most part, or the doll is rather. If that's not the front cover, and this panel is actually the front cover, which just does more so reside in the front. It's just Rodeo written in cursive using like what would appear to be like a CGI rope, black backdrop, which that's pretty cool, really simple. Then we got Travis Scott's name as well as the title of the CD right there. We can get a closer look because we'll be able to see like Epic Records and Grand Hustle, which the CD was released under. I believe I already said this, but the CD was released September 4th, 2015. I know I said it was released in 2015. I just can't remember if I said a specific date. But I just want to include that detail just in case. And then if we go to the back, it's upside down. Ooh, let's get that into focus. That does not look good. But yeah, it's upside down picture of Travis Scott, or rather the doll once again, with the two different heads. I'm assuming that it was packaged with, or it came with, or they were able to really swap out. One is more of Travis Scott like like cheesing or like grilling. You're able to see the grills, and then the other one's more of a basic like it's just Travis Scott looking. Then we have this down here, which I don't know what that is. But we do see Epic Records, Grand Hustle, which the CD was released under. But yeah, I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's like a robot, or it looks like something to do with horrible. It's not even in focus. It looks like something to do with like spiky hair or something like that. But yeah, I mean, if anybody knows what that is, comment below, let us know. Then we have some more like the credits, or more specifically like like the label details right there, right above the barcode. Signed by Travis Scott right there, as we can see. And then there's the track listing in a white text in the top left hand corner. A lot of dope tracks, like I was saying. Is this the one? Yeah, this is the one. Alright, yeah, I'd say one of my favorites is definitely Apple Pie, but that's just really off the top of the head. There's plenty of dope tracks on here. Yeah, like if we want to bring into the inside of the CD, like cover or the packaging. I know this wasn't addressed originally. It's kind of easy to see. But the CD packaging, or like the cover, it is like more along the lines of like that paper folding style that I said is more popular with modern times. Not saying it wasn't around like 10-20 years ago even. It just seems like more artists, at least more artists that I buy albums from, tend to be going with this direction, just because it seems like you can usually do more with this. You can include more visuals. So yeah, if we want to flip around to the inside of the CD, it's more pictures or close-up images of the Travis Scott doll. It actually seems to be pretty similar to his likeness. You can see all his tattoos. He's got some chains on there as well. Got that same symbol from the outside, so I don't know if that's like Travis Scott's like brand or label. Maybe it's like an art company, something along those lines, where we have like like the I don't want to call it like a stop sign, but it's kind of like a like none of this sign. But it just looks like right there, it almost looks like it could be a chicken. But originally I thought it was just some dude with like a spiky hair. But yeah, all these shots were like photographed by Kevin Amato, which they look pretty great, to be honest, considering it's a doll that they're taking a picture of. So yeah, this one has like a white backdrop. You get to see the shadow of the doll, the background. It's got that head on it where Travis Scott's cheesing. The same cheesing head is then put over a black background, but it's put on top of like a cactus. I know sometimes Travis Scott goes by the moniker Cactus Jack or Honcho Jack. So there that is right there. Interesting picture. That's more the center image. And then on the left hand side, we have kind of like more of like a pose picture of the doll. With the the more basic head on it, where he's just like, it seems like he's like covering his face from like obviously like some light. Once again, a black backdrop. Interesting lighting. It almost seems similar to the lighting in this room where the photography was shot. But yeah, so it's like a threefold. We just get three different images of Scott, or rather the doll. And each one of these sleeves holds the booklet and the CD. But I think there's actually additional pockets. Yeah, there's additional pockets. There's one right there. There's one right there. And then I want to say there's also pockets on the outside. No, the pockets are not on the outside. Sorry. So yeah, it's all just within the inside. So if I just want to lay this down right here, I'll pull out the first. Alright, so I'll pull that out in just a minute because I do know what that is. I was checking it out a little bit earlier. We're going to go to the CD first. which, yeah, once again, it's that, yeah, it's that symbol. So I guess it's like a stick figure with his hair on fire. I don't know if that's just like the symbol for rodeo, and I don't mean rodeo like as if like in Texas this is what they show or anything like that. When they're saying, hey, there's gonna be a rodeo over here, but I don't know. I'm just saying like I don't know if this is what Scott chose, for the symbolism of rodeo. You don't really get you don't really get like the title of the CD anymore on the CD cover, which is fine. I don't have a problem with, but I think it's pretty dope how you have like the names of each one of the tracks on like the outer rim. If you want to flip it around in the back, pretty basic. CD, like backing. So yeah, we can just slide that back in there. Alright, so yeah, with this last portion of the CD, where it's artwork, it's gonna be similar to like the Rihanna Anti video. It's gonna be like a huge poster, so I'm probably most likely gonna have to move the camera once again. But yeah, it's just like it's a big poster of like the doll or the Travis Scott doll. Not as large as the Rihanna Anti artwork. Which it's funny. I saw Travis Scott was actually touring with Rihanna for her CD when it came out, and I got to see them both in concert. So it's kind of interesting that they took similar routes as far as like art style, though. I don't know if was it for Rodeo? It could have been Birds in the Trap Sing Rhyme Ignite, but yeah, I'll just move the camera a little bit so we can see the entirety. So yeah, it's just like what I would assume is like a life-size image, maybe a little bit larger of the the actual like doll itself. White backdrop, like we've seen throughout the majority of this cover artwork. We'll go ahead and flip that around back. We do actually get to see the back side of the Travis Scott doll, and then we have each one of the tracks listed in order for the CD, and then their credits. Just get a better shot of that. Scrolling down so you guys can see each one. In case you want to pause it for whatever reason, never know. Try again. Once again, we have that like that red label with the Grand Hustle, Epic Records, and I'll get that in just a minute. I want to get the rest of the track. Listen. Come on, let's focus. Focus my camera. There we go. Yep. Rest of the track listens with the credits. Try to get a little bit better shot of that. But yeah, from what I've noticed, every time the tracks are listed, it's usually like a red typography, and then we have like a thank you note at the bottom right there from Scott himself. I'll try and get a better shot of that in case anybody wants to read it. We get the signature at the bottom, sincerely T, and yeah, this is what I was talking about, which we got to see on the outer portion of the CD packaging as well. The Epic Records, Grand Hustle, and then we have like that, I don't know what I was, like a rodeo symbol. But yeah, that was Travis Scott's 2015 CD Rodeo. Overall it's pretty dope. I still stand by what I said initially. I don't personally get the whole rodeo vibe from this whole like CD packaging and stuff like that. I thought it was an interesting like idea. I wasn't really sure. I'm still not really sure why Travis Scott chose to do the whole like Travis Scott like doll thing. It's not like a bad concept. I just don't necessarily understand it or how it specifically lends to the body of work itself. I don't think it takes away from it. I think it is in line with Travis Scott's like body of work, or just like his like facet of art. It's not like shock art, but it is like it's like a different approach. It's supposed to, or what I would assume is supposed to be like like provocative and thought provoking and things of that nature. So yeah, that was Rodeo. This is SeeTheseCDs. Continue to check out our videos. Thanks for checking out any video that you have already. And thanks for checking out this video. We're gonna keep it rolling. I guess this week is just gonna be like a double video week because I keep knocking out, and waking up past 12. So I'm gonna do another video in just a moment, and you're probably gonna get this video uploaded tonight. But yeah, like I said, this is SeeTheseCDs. Thanks for checking this out.